Hi guys, so we wanted to do YouTube videos for a very long time and finally we are able to do it.
So today we're going to talk about a very important topic, which is one of the most requested ones, one of the most common ones in skincare, and that is acne.
So today we are going to take you through the most common topical treatments that are given for acne.
So let's start with one of the most commonly used topical treatments for acne, that is clindamycin. So clindamycin is an antibiotic that works by killing the bacteria that causes acne. The thing is that a lot of people use clindamycin as a spot treatment when they get acne. Now that's not the correct way. You must have seen doctors giving you oral antibiotics for a course. So there has to be a course of using clindamycin as well. So generally we suggest using clindamycin as a thin layer on the whole face and not just on acne. Why is that? Because the bacteria that causes acne is present on the whole face.
It's one of the molecules that is very well tolerated even with patients of sensitive skin, and given with niacinamide also, so you can, and benzoyl peroxide, so there are various combinations that are available, and I think it's a very effective molecule, especially in the initial period of acne treatment.
Right. And I suggest not using clindamycin for more than 3 months at a stretch, because the bacteria kinds of develops a resistance to the treatment, and after that, if you're using, there's no harm to it, but it isn't necessarily giving you any benefit either.
Another molecule that works wonderfully for acne treatment is benzoyl peroxide. It comes in two concentrations, mainly 2.5 and 5%. The best part about it is that the bacteria doesn't develop the resistance to it, because it damages the bacteria physically by destroying its cell membrane.
So it comes in so many forms, it comes as face washes, it comes as creams and gels, and I think it's one of the only molecules that I like using as a spot treatment as well.
Users should keep in mind that this molecule is not for sensitive skin typically.
Right.
And also one place where it works really well is as a wash for your truncal acne.
So I generally ask people to lather up their benzoyl peroxide wash and keep it on the affected area for 5 minutes while they're bathing, and then wash it. Another good way to use it as a spot treatment is to just apply benzoyl peroxide on the pimple that is red and inflamed for about 5 minutes and then wash it. That can dry up your pimple, but I suggest don't use it as a frequent strategy, because this can burn your skin.
I usually prescribe it in the morning because the night time is reserved for a retinoid. I advise users to apply a thin layer all over the face.
Azelaic acid is like a master molecule. It has so many effects. It is an antibacterial, it is an anti-inflammatory, it is an anti-pigment agent. So it is one of the most prescribed molecules in my practice.
I give it to patients who are bothered about their acne along with pigmentation, because it targets both of them.
And it is also one of the safest molecules to be used in pregnancy. I suggest starting with 10% gel or cream form and then upgrading to 20% if you can. Again, using it as a thin layer on the whole face.
Yeah, actually 20% is a prescription product, so I think 10% is fine if you're not going to a dermatologist. Also, azelaic acid works wonderfully for post-acne redness. Salicylic acid, which is a beta hydroxy acid, works well in acne because it can penetrate in that oily environment and work on the exfoliation process.
It comes in so many forms, like face washes, body washes, leave-on gels, sprays, and ideally 2% salicylic acid is what we suggest to use as a leave-on gel. If you're using that for exfoliation, you can use it every alternate days. If you have acne, oily prone skin, you can actually use it every day as well. And again, if you have no acne, just oily skin, it's a wonderful molecule for you as well.
Also, salicylic acid sprays work well for back acne. It helps with the decrease in acne as well as works on the pigmentation. What are your thoughts for AHA?
So I generally prescribe AHAs for post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, or the pigmentation that's left behind by acne. Glycolic acid is one of my favorite molecules. I start with 3 to 6% and dose up to 12% maybe, and maybe alternate days or every day if you can tolerate it. The good part about alpha hydroxy acid, such as lactic acid, is that it is a wonderful molecule for sensitive skin patients.
Yeah, it's a big molecule, so does not penetrate deep into the skin, so works well for sensitive patients.
Also, I'm a big fan of salicylic acid, glycolic acid and lactic acid peels, because once every 15 days, if you take this treatment for about 6 sessions, it really gives you drastic results in acne.
As a doctor in my office, I love to combine these acids together, because by combination we can treat both the acne and the associated pigmentation with it.
Yeah, me too. I like to combine salicylic acid with mandelic acid when there is both acne and pigmentation, and I combine azelaic acid with mandelic acid when there's only pigmentation.
Yeah, and azelaic acid and mandelic acid has worked wonderfully for pigmentation in our clinic. So there's a lot of talk about niacinamide, which is available in various percentages. I personally use just the 4%. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think we generally don't need more than 4% because I never prescribe niacinamide all by itself. It is too weak an agent to give you any drastic results in acne or in pigmentation, because the only functions that I feel that niacinamide works for is reducing oil to some people and a pigmentation improvement in some people.
At home, you can combine it with clindamycin to treat acne, and at our clinic, we use niacinamide in medifacials
Right.
for sensitive skin.
A lot of patients that I see in my practice have been using vitamin C on their own for acne. What is your take on that?
So vitamin C does not impact acne in any significant way. So I use it mainly for mild pigmentation and for anti-aging effect. Some patients say that their acne has worsened with the use of vitamin C. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I have had this complaint too from a lot of patients. So if you're not on any strong anti-acne treatment, I've seen some people get acne because of vitamin C. In case that happens, either stop it or start with a lower percentage of vitamin C if you have acne-prone skin. That often helps.
Retinols and retinoids are actually the hero molecules when you're treating acne. Retinoids work at every level in acne. They're antibacterial, they're anti-inflammatory, they unclog the pores, they cause exfoliation.
The thing about retinoids is that they take time to work because they act really deep in your skin. It gives them 2 to 3 months to actually start working in your skin, a little longer to give you some good results.
First 6 to 8 weeks of using retinol, you might experience something which we call purging, in which there can be increase in acne and pigmentation. But if you get through that phase and keep using the retinol, it will bring great changes to your skin.
So retinoids is a big umbrella term, and retinol is one of the molecules that's available over the counter for you to be used freely. So a lot of people ask me which retinoid to use. So I'll tell everybody that all retinoids actually function in the same way. The potency or the efficacy is different. All retinoids were actually anti-acne treatments, but all of them also give you anti-aging benefits.
I usually use retinols and not retinoids because retinols are much more safer, they are better tolerated, and in long term I think they bring about the same effect.
So also remember to use retinols for a long time if you want to see results. I've seen patients stopping the usage of retinols after a certain time thinking that their skin is alright, but that's not the way. You have to keep using them to see the benefits.
And also use retinol only at night time because they make your skin photosensitive, and in the daytime make sure that you protect your skin with a good sunscreen.
So if you're planning a pregnancy, are pregnant or lactating, ensure that you're not using retinols. So does it have an effect on future pregnancy?
No, of course not. So you're just applying it topically and it is going to get absorbed, some part of it, and it would be removed from your body after a few days. I think that's all about topical treatment in acne. If you have a query or if you want to share your experience with these treatments, you can leave them in the comment section below.
Also, you can let us know in the comment sections what you want us to talk about next. If you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to our channel for more information on skincare.
Bye bye.